Hello, Big Brother fans. This is a episode review of episode 10, Big Brother 14. Well, we open with Boogie being upset that Frank didn't tell him that he was going to be on the block. But Frank had already just said that he didn't know he was going up, that it was just a possibility. So it was just Boogie having some reason to complain and, bitch and moan about being a coach that isn't being clued in as to what's going on. We will get back to the coach situation soon. The best quote of the night was Ian saying, "I didn't want to write a check that I couldn't cash," and Boogie immediately saying, "This is the Big Brother house, you can bounce checks." That was pretty fun because it's true. It's like, Ian has seen every single episode of this show. He knows everything by heart, inside and out, and he's acting as if he doesn't realize that you can bounce a hell of a lot of checks in the Big Brother house. I mean, I understand that people really want to keep their word and they want to try to play the game clean and they want to, come through with their reputation intact, but really, how many people who have done that have really won? I have a bad memory. There probably have been, but I'm just saying. You have to do a certain amount of lying, a certain amount of cheating, a certain amount of backbiting, backstabbing or whatever, in order to further yourself in this game. Will, I just didn't understand his turn on Janelle. I'm sure there was much more to it that, has been absolutely edited out, but he got all pissy that Janelle was claiming that, he was no good and that she had to fight to save his ass. Well, hello, when he gets evicted and he gets to see the tapes, he's gonna see that Janelle did indeed save his ass this past week, because if he wasn't saved, he was their target. And I mean, granted, he would have made it through because of the decision of what the coaches, coming into the game, Nick's evictions, etc., etc. He still was being saved by Janelle, and there's no denying that. The Janelle's fake tears after they'd already gone through the entire about her not having any emotions or not showing emotions, and then her doing the fake tears with Will and him not buying it at all. That was really, really fun to watch. It looked fake to me. It was almost as if she was trying to cover up laughing, while she was dabbing at her eyes. Let's see. Dan wanted to team up with Boogie and Frank, but Danielle says no. She wanted to continue to stay on with Shane. She's got the hots for Shane, and they haven't quite edited that all in. But Shane has quite often rebuffed her and said, "I don't want to showmance. I don't want to showmance. I don't want to be aligned with you in any way because I don't want us, to be considered a showmance where people will, put us up against each other, etc., etc." So she is just really hot for him, and Dan finally says, "I command you to stop liking Shane." It's like 2008. No one comes between me and my Shane. And you all know who that is that he was mocking. Then they went on and they told us who, I'm sorry, I'm going to turn on the fan. They told us who Frank's dad was. And when they said Sid Vicious, I was like, what? Sid Vicious? I didn't know there was even such a person as a Sid Vicious wrestler. I'm sorry if I'm not up onto, fake wrestling stuff, but it didn't impress me at all. But it was sweet that they haven't spoken for a year, and yet his dad is at home watching every episode and cheering him on. I think that's really cool. But I like how they did show that Joe noticed that Frank was doing exercises that only a professional athlete would do. So, it hasn't escaped people's notice, that he is quite a good athlete. Then we finally get to the point where we're gonna do our voting, but wait, first we have to tell you about America's Vote. You can vote yes to join the game. If you do hit the reset button, there will be no eviction and you will join the game and it will be all reset, and you will all battle for HOH. If it remains as, if you stay in and remain as coaches, there will be an eviction. And if there is an eviction, I believe it said that there is somebody who has been being held in seclusion, and that one of the evicted house guests will and can return. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I predicted that last week, because they were, shy because of Willie. I had a feeling, who was the last person out? Kara. They probably have Kara in seclusion. Or they probably even had more, given that they already knew that America would more than likely vote them in. I'm really pissed at all you people who voted them in. They've had their chance. It just doesn't seem right, But anyway, the results of that was Boogie decided not to, and he was the only coach that did not hit the reset button. Every last one of them hit the reset button. So we end with an endurance challenge, which is something that I also said was going to happen very, very soon. Someone did point out that it was too soon, but yes, it was too soon. But as you've seen, the males were already dominating. I mean, only 2 weeks, but still the males were dominating. Endurance challenges are almost always set up so that women are going to be the winners for it, so it switches the game up. And so there we are, we're left with the endurance challenge. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a second video after this that's going to include quite a few spoilers, including who won the HOH and in the order in which they dumped off, etc, etc, etc. So I will see you more than likely tomorrow when nominations have been done for yet another spoiler, and then on Saturday, I don't think I'll be home until much later, but I'll be back with the POV winner on that. Alright, we'll see you then. Bye.